And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Michael Filigera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, May 24th, 2021. What a day. It reminds me of a saying, the best laid plans are kind of like shoved aside, and that's pretty much what happened today. And it also just kind of came into my mind. It's like, don't rush the count, which was something that was taught to me by Dan Ascani, that oftentimes when trying to use Elliott wave and trying to fit it into what's going on, we can have a tendency to rush the count. And so by me putting the C wave here and the B there, because this had dropped off so cleanly on Friday, and then again yesterday afternoon in the Globex, it gapped lower, and I was like, oh, beautiful. Well, that kind of lasted until, well, Europe got a hold of it, and then the United States kind of opened, and the next thing you know, we were off to the races. Now, this is the part where it just really got sticky, I have to say. On an hourly chart, this looks wonderful. They were like, wow, great, great, great. Look at these great moves. But they did not go like that. They were fits and starts and slow by slow by slow. Low volume, not like we normally would see an opening where you get these nice 10, 20, 30, $40 moves, and then it retraces and then it goes again. The only thing that held this together to keep you long was the fact that all the charts, the 1, the 2, the 5, the 15, the 30, and the hourly were all in alignment. And that told you we're just going to go up. So you had to have a ton of patience, and B, be able to sit through those moments when suddenly sellers would show up and push it down, and being able to work it to within your account so that you weren't taking too big of a hit. But for the most part, those moving averages were the saving grace again today in letting us know that we're going up, and we're going to continue to go up because the moving averages are not budging from their upward trend. So the trend was up, it just was not fast. In fact, it was pretty slow. And it really wasn't that easy to trade, particularly when you're a day trader. If you were a swing trader, you probably made a fortune. And you just put it on and you let it go. You just let it be until the market told you otherwise. But as a day trader, and a day like today, you have to have a lot of patience, because the trades, you put them on and then you had to wait and wait and wait and wait for them to come to fruition, because you get a couple of ticks and it's what, 20, 40, maybe $50, and you're looking to make 200 or more on a trade so that your take on the day will be closer to $1,000. That really became not as easy to do. But nonetheless, it was a profitable day. Not as much as I would had expected or desired for today. My own personal goal is to try to make $1,000 within the first hour, and then be done with that trading. Not to be done for the day, but to be done for that particular account. So I set a daily goal for my account. Now, what do I want to make today? And when I do, since I don't like giving it back, I will switch either to SIM or I'll switch to another account, and then work on how much do I want to put into that account. So things that I would talk about once I get the trade room open, which, by the way, is a go. I am going to be opening the trade room. So if you have any interest, and the type of trade room that I'm actually trying to set up is one that is going to be educational, that is going to be assisting traders wherever they are in that journey of becoming a successful day trader. So there are some people that would like a lot of instruction because maybe they're just beginning. And so that I want to be able to offer. And then there are others that are very seasoned and just need to fine tune maybe a couple of things, or pick up an extra tool or an extra indicator, which could be described in the room, and actually just have that camaraderie of being in with other traders and being able to trade. But more on that, because I intend to put out a decent email. And so if you're not on my list, then you're going to want to get on my list so that you will reach that notification. But I also will be sending the same thing out via video, so you'd be able to get it that way. Back to if you've signed up to subscribe to my YouTube station. Anyway, back to the markets. So what I did is pretty much what I said yesterday. If the market kind of comes up and starts to approach these levels, it gets above this level is what I said, then we're likely going to go break this and we're going to head higher. And this would be the next zone. Well, sure enough, didn't go right there. Got right to it. And it took a little bit of time getting to that first one. But then after that, didn't take much to get up there towards the second one. So I have again moved the B and the C up to here, because again, we're just looking for the completion of this move. Now remember, all C waves have to be 5. Well, now it seems pretty clear to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems pretty clear, unless the 5 is not done yet, and it's subdividing and it's going to spring again. But if it does, we have resistance there. We have resistance here. We have resistance here. I definitely am not expecting this thing to go back up, although yesterday I said it could, stranger things. It could go all the way up here simply because the pattern of the A wave was 3 waves down. That does lead to what the overall structure of this larger intermediate fourth wave could be an ABC flat. And that would suggest where you have the A wave, the B wave goes back up to the area of the start of the A wave, and then you get a C wave that brings you back down to that level. So in either case, I am continuing to expect a C wave decline. Where it starts from, that's what's not been determined yet, but we're starting to hone in on possible levels. This being one, right where we are. The market did sell off initially into the close, but that's kind of turning into the new norm right now. When we have these big updates, they turn around and sell it right into the close. So I'm still not convinced that this can be done yet, but let's see how they do it in Globex and how things turn out as Globex begins to unfold. I heard a myriad of reasons of why they're getting bullish on the market and why they're coming in on the market. NVIDIA, big tech stock, big chip stock, has announced that they're going to do a 4-for-1 stock split. And if you do the math and the different levels, and so all kinds of things are going on. And so people just want to get in because, everything's going to reopen, the economy is going to be great. And again, it's the same noise we heard here. It's the same noise we got here. And to me, it's very typical of a fourth wave correction. They're early. So in other words, we still got this down leg to do. And I couldn't begin to tell you what it's going to do. Maybe it'll be, the indexes roll over because of their own top heavy weight, and then come back and correct before doing that intermediate fifth wave back up to new highs. Or we just work in this, what we might call this very large box of doom, in which case we come first down to this low, then we go back up to the high, then we come back down to the low. So that's just nothing but a big box, so to speak. But we'll see. So basically, expectations remain for a C wave decline, whether it starts from here, whether it starts from here, or whether it starts from here. It is a B wave decline, and I'm still looking for it. But I did switch out, as I said, that yesterday we had our Fibonacci extensions for the C wave down, and that would have been relating it to the A wave, right? C and A are related in the 3-wave structure. And so I ran that Fibonacci extension from the current high down to the bottom of A and up to then what I considered going to be the top of the B wave. So indeed, if this is the finish, then I would do the same thing. I'd run it down to the bottom of the A and then up to the finish of the B wave. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't know if it's over. And so I'm going to wait. I'm not going to jump the gun. I did move this over, but again, it could just be moved up and moved over and moved up because it is coming. I do believe that we're close to that being complete. And in that case, we would likely begin to see the downside, and it should really kind of hit pretty quickly. You know, I think it'd be similar to this. Boom, 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 boom. So for whatever reason, I couldn't tell you, pick one from the hat, and that'll be why. I just can tell you, according to the Elliott wave pattern that I'm looking at, and the characteristics of the waves that we've seen so far, do suggest that it's likely going to go back down. Now, we do continue to run the possibility that this is not an ABC, that this ABC completed the whole intermediate fourth wave. And what we've started on is the intermediate fifth wave. So making an adjustment to what is the alternate count? The alternate count would be that intermediate wave four is complete at that low. Where I've got the A, we would put a 4 there and turn that color into yellow, and that this is wave one, wave two, and this is the start of a third wave. Now, it could be all of the third wave, but you see, they're kind of sloppy. But then a fifth wave can be, because it's an ending move. It's not a beginning move. A fifth wave comes at the end of whatever is going on. And so if it's a larger fifth wave, it definitely should be getting up higher than this. For sure. Even in its third wave, I would suspect it's got to be getting up closer and then pull back a little bit and then zip up in a fifth wave, which will knock our socks off because it needs to get back up into these levels, way up here and even higher. So that's the alternate. The alternate is if it just keeps going, then we may have to consider that the intermediate fourth wave did complete back on the 13th of May. Right now, that still does not fit how I'm viewing the market. This is just such a clean ABC, remains a clean ABC pattern for me, but we'll let the market tell us. So right now, I think, yes, we do have potential for additional upside. We continue to have resistance right here at 693.94 up to, I'm going to say 705, 710. And then we have further resistance at 13,820. So it's going to get all the way through the sevens and get up to the eights. And that zone is 867. So we'll say 870 down from 820 to 870. So we got another 50-point zone up here. And then it moves up to 14,025 to 14,064, which is the all-time high right now. This actually got stuck a little bit lower. That's upside. Downside, we're just going to look for it to start to break down below these moving averages and start to turn those moving averages lower. And that's going to be a key. First of all, on our hourly chart, we're looking for 5 waves down to announce the next wave. That this particular 3-wave combination is complete, and that fifth wave, or excuse me, the C wave down has begun. And it's going to begin by putting in 5 waves, countable 5 waves down on the hourly chart. So, but that would just be wave 1 now, okay? Because remember, 1 is down, 2 would be up, 3 is down, 4 is up, 5 is down. So we have a 5-wave structure to put in. Waves 1, 3, and 5 will break down into their own 5 waves. And as we've seen in third waves, could be multiple breakdowns. So we're not going to rush it. I'm learning my lessons here. Don't rush the count. So we're going to consider that possibly complete here. We need to leave room. So if we come in tomorrow and they're sitting up here or sitting up here, it's going to make it closer to being complete. And then we'll have to play it as we see it. In other words, what the market is doing, what the market is telling us at that moment, and using our moving averages again, right now, hourly. The 50s above the 200, the 20s above the 50, the 4 and the 8 are above the 20. So this is important stuff. This is lined up to continue to go up. But the sitting up there, the 8 is hooking a little bit. The 4's trying to catch up a little bit. So, you know, it's questionable right now. We'll see. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. But I'm going to leave it there. We have support levels coming off. If they start to break down, that's going to give more fuel to the fact that, oh, good, this B wave is over. and it's wave B of of intermediate wave 4. So it's minor wave B of intermediate wave 4. And then what we're completing is minor wave C of intermediate wave 4. I kind of got those little screwed up yesterday. I apologize. Sorry for the confusion if I created it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. We've got our upside, we've got our downside. Play it as you see it. Remember to use your moving averages intraday. They really are helpful. They were very helpful today. And trade well. And our next update will be Tuesday, the 25th.